Hi, my name's Ashley, and today I'm here to talk to you about birth control. Today we'll be starting with the history of it, when it was legalized, and the first birth control that had came out. Then we will move on to today about the birth controls we have now, the effectiveness of each, and the disadvantages of each one. Then we'll move on to the future, what the birth control has in plan. Starting with history, according to Bodies Ourselves, birth control was legalized in the 1960s, but before the 1960s, in the 1950s, the pill was out, but it was illegal and women secretly sold it to each other, but eventually had got caught. And so then in the 1960s, the Supreme Court had came together and legalized it, not for everybody, but only for married women. But later, 10 years later, after all the fighting and the arguing, the Supreme Court came together again and legalized it for everybody in the 1970s. Later, 10 years later, they decided the pill wasn't the best for everybody, and so they came out with a one-step plan known as Plan B. Then, in 1989 to the 1990s, later on, the Plan B wasn't enough for people and it didn't work as well, so they came out with the IUD. But this one was taken off the market twice because of the infections and the deaths it had led to. The IUD did not normally look like this. It was a small sponge placed in the uterus, then they came out with this one. Now and today, according to Planned Parenthood, we have the NuvaRing, the patch, the pill, the arm implant, and the Mirena. Starting with the ring, known as the NuvaRing is 91% effective if it works with your body. The NuvaRing has your normal symptoms such as puking, cramping, headaches that should only last for 3 months. But if these last longer than 3 months, you should see your doctor and get off it as soon as possible. Then we have the patch. The patch is just a small band-aid placed on your body, on your arm, your shoulder blade, or your abdomen. The patch is 91% effective, but if you're under the weight limit of 175 and above, the patch is 15% less effective and does not work. The patch disadvantages is it causes a rash. Sweating too much can have your patch fall off. Also, it causes pain in where your patch is placed. If you are in sports, they will not recommend the patch for you because otherwise there's no point. The pill. The pill came out in the 1950s, but they had brought it back, but they came out with 3 different levels of it, high, medium, and low. Low being for girls who are 90 pounds to 115 pounds, and then the medium being girls who are 115 to about 135 pounds, and then the high being for 140 to above. The pill is 91% effective, but if you miss even 1 day on your pill, you have completely thrown your cycle off, and your effectiveness of the pill will go down by 5%. But that's not even the biggest disadvantage. If you get sick and are placed on antibiotics, you have to go back and find a backup birth control because the antibiotics and the pill are kind of similar and they interact with each other, and it goes down by 10 to 15% more. Then we have the shot. The shot has the most disadvantages than any other birth control. The shot is 99% effective. It is given to you exactly every 3 months. You miss 1 day of that, you are over and can cause many problems to your body. One of the biggest disadvantages is what most girls hate is excessive weight gain. And then you have hair loss, and then you have pain. But the biggest disadvantage is that it has the same chemical as chemo, which is neoplastic, which is the cause of not being able to produce new cells. Not being able to produce new cells will cause your hair loss, will cause the excessive weight gain, and also could cause cysts because your body's not growing new cells to fight off the bad ones. Then we have the arm implant. The arm implant is just a small bar placed in the middle of your arm and is left there for exactly 3 years. It is 99% effective if you are not over a certain weight either. The arm implant can cause cysts if it is left in too long or if girls cannot handle the amount of hormones that is being produced to the body. If you are in contact sports, doctors will not recommend this because it can break, bend, or move and can cause irritation to your arm, bleeding to your arm, and will need to be removed. Now we have the Mirena, the IUD, which I said was taken off the market twice, but now has been brought back and has lowered its disadvantages and has higher its effectiveness. This is 99% effective, same as the arm, and can last also 3 years. But again, if your body cannot handle the hormones through your body, it can cause cysts, or if it's even left in too long, it can cause cysts as well. The Mirena is a small teeth thing placed in the uterus, but with this, the bottom of it can cause tearing in your uterus line. In the future, birth control hopes to come out with the man's pill. It is a cheaper and more effective way for men to lose their sperm count, but this will cost $3 billion for it to be produced, and it is a huge discussion right now. But they hope people will agree to it. Now a little recap. We had the history, the legalization of it, the first birth control that had came out. Then and today we learned about the ring, the patch, the shot, and both implants and the different levels of the pill. And then we had the future of man's birth control.